What's going on, everybody? Today we are starting our very first dynasty ever, and we thought what better place to start than right here at home in the Lone Star State. The state of Texas is rich in its football history and traditions, but really when it comes down to it, in the last half century, there's only one flagship program in the entire state, and that is the University of Texas at Austin. When it comes to football, Texas is arguably the premier state in terms of athletes coming out of high school. So there is no reason there should only be one premier program in the entire state. With that being said, our first rebuild on the channel is going to be right down the street from Austin, Texas, in San Marcos with the Texas State Bobcats. Now, the twist that we're going to have here is not only are we going to be trying to bring Texas State into prominence at the national level, we're going to be trying to do it in the SEC. As if it weren't hard enough already to be in the SEC, we are coming into the SEC as a two-star program. Now, while the state of Texas is latent rich in talent, it is going to be very difficult to pull a lot of that talent away from the premier programs such as Texas, such as Texas A&M, Baylor, and other schools like that. But I believe that we can do it. Now, the challenge that we're going to have here is, can we do this in less than 5 years with a two-star program in the SEC? That is yet to be seen. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into starting this dynasty up. Now, we are going to go ahead and move Vanderbilt to the Pac-12. It's still going to be a gauntlet of a schedule nonetheless. And we are going to be playing this on Heisman, of course, playing 5-minute quarters. The other thing is that we are only allowed to play 4 games a season, and we can only play, at most, we can play 1/2 of each of those 4 games. We're going to do that to try and kind of speed up the process of getting through these seasons. Now, I'm going to be starting off as a recruiter. We're going to be starting off our head coach, brand new. And y'all know what time it is, man. It's me. It's your boy, Mr. Mo Betta. We're in this thing. We're in this bitch. We're going to go ahead and coach our way to a national championship. All right, now we are going to be signing this contract through 2028, I guess. Yeah, sound good to me. Now, I mentioned in the beginning of the video that we were going to have some goals and challenges for this dynasty. So I'm going to go ahead and read them out to you. But they will also be on the screen right here. So one of our goals is going to be to win the national championship within 5 years. We want to sign the #1 recruiting class out of high school, and we also want to have a Heisman winner. So 3 goals, nothing crazy, nothing unrealistic in my opinion, things that we can set expectations for ourselves that are achievable. And we're also going to have a few rules attached to those goals. So the #1 rule that we're going to have is that we must call coach suggestions on offense and on defense. The second rule is going to be that our offensive playbook is going to be chosen at random, and I'll do that in a wheel that we'll spin here in just a few minutes. We also can only play up to 1/2 in only 4 games per season. So if we feel like we need to play the entire half, we can play it. If we only feel like we need to play the 4th quarter, that's fine, we can play that. But we can only play 4 select games per season in an effort to speed these seasons along. And if I fail any of the goals that we have set for ourselves, I must sit 1 star player from my next dynasty team for every goal that we do not achieve. So we got something riding on the line here. But I think that even though it's going to take some time to get this Texas State team under construction and in the direction that we want it to go, I do believe that we will be able to win a national championship within 5 years, especially if we can tap into the recruiting pipeline out of Texas. The state is latent with talent, and I'm really excited to get to recruiting. But before we can even do any of that, let's go ahead and figure out what our playbook is going to be for the season. Okay, so here y'all can see we have our wheel. We're gonna go ahead here and click to spin and see where we land, man. Let's see. Hopefully we don't get a horrible book. And it looks like we're going to land on North Carolina Tar Heels. Okay. More than likely we'll just go ahead and run the 4-2-5 defense because that is what I'm comfortable in. And yeah, so we'll go ahead and let's go ahead and get our playbook chosen here. We're going to be in North Carolina. Very interesting. I've not run this book all year. And let's go ahead and just take a look at our depth chart, see what we're rocking with offensively. Okay, Brad Jackson, freshman quarterback, 83 speed, 79, only 86 throw power. That could be a little bit of a problem. 86 throw power is not wonderful, I'll tell you that much. But we got 90 and 93 here. I guess we'll just have to see how everybody develops. But it looks like Brad Jackson also has extender and option king, so that could come in handy for us. Lincoln Pear, 89 speed. Okay, we don't really have a whole lot of speed. Greg Burrell, 88 speed, 82 change of direction. Okay, it's not really looking wonderful for us. I'm not going to lie to y'all. On the offensive side of the ball, it's okay, but we do have some work on at wide receiver. Wow, we got some really good wide receiver potential here. Maven Anderson, star dev trait. We got normal dev trait, star dev trait. Oh no, normal dev trait. Okay, we're gonna need to get some stars on this team. Tight end, pretty slow. 81 speed is gonna have to be our starter, honestly. He's gonna have to be our starter. Let's go ahead and put Blake Smith as our starter here. And let's look at, okay, offensively, our O-line is decent, actually. Surprisingly decent. Okay. Okay, our right tackle sucks ass, but the rest of our O-line is not that bad. Khalil Alexander got quick jump. Okay, good senior edge. Joe Lazon Landry. I probably butchered that. I'm sorry, but 70 speed is not going to cut it at the edge. I'm going to tell you that, even if he's got grip breaker. But hopefully he can develop a little bit down the line. He is a senior, though, so probably not much coming out of him. Okay, we got house call, 82 speed, not great. 84 speed, still not great, but a little bit more better than 82. Serviceable with 84. 79 speed is horrendous. And then, Jesus, good God Almighty, we have nothing. We have no speed at the cornerback position. We do have some speed here. DJ Taylor, okay, I like that. DJ Taylor's got 92 speed at free safety. Really love that. But that is about it. That is the only player on our team that has any type of speed, and he's a senior, so we're only going to have him for about a year. We are going to be a recruiter. We are starting off as a recruiter. We want to be able to recruit the best recruits in the state of Texas, period. And so really for this first season, that is pretty much what we're going to be focused on. We're going to be trying to get as many 3- and 4-star recruits through our doors as possible, and maybe we can find a gem in the 2-star ranks or whatnot, but we're gonna have to be heavy on the recruiting trail, just in case we lose any recruits or any of our players as well as the season goes on, because you got to imagine that even though a 6'5" pocket passer, 5-star, unlikely that he's gonna want to come to Texas State if we're being realistic here. Let's just go see if we can find, I don't know, remember where I was going with my previous train of thought, but a 6'3" dual threat, I like that. Okay, 6'1" dual threat, like that also. Ideally we'll find somebody with really good throw power and accuracy. I don't know. I think that North Carolina is more of a pro style, so we might be able to have a pocket passer, to be honest with you. 6'4", and we've already got 7 QBs on the board, so let's actually the only reason that I have 7 quarterbacks on the board is because that I know that we're likely to be short on quarterbacks later on. So it always, your offense has got to start at quarterback first. Your quarterback is your leader, and then you start in the trenches. So we're going to go quarterback. We've gone quarterback, so now we're going to get into trenches. We know that our offensive tackles and our guards are a little bit older, so some of them are going to be seniors and leaving our team. So we want to get heavy on the recruiting trail in the trenches first. First and foremost, we want our trenches to be secured. So we got 2 right tackles, an agile, pass protector. Okay, I kind of like pass protector. We got one of each: raw strength, pass protector, and well-rounded. So that's 3 offensive tackles that we have looked at, but they're all right tackles. So let's go ahead and take one of these off. I think I would rather take the 277-pounder off because he's a little guy. Let's see if we can find us a left tackle that is interested in being at Texas State already. That would be ideal. We need a good left tackle. And it doesn't look like we found, wow, the final left tackle available that would even have any interest to coming here is 6'7", 286 pounds. That's a good place to start, in my opinion. So now let's go ahead and look for our guards. And I'm not really going to talk y'all through all the boring stuff here, but, you know, we're starting in the trenches first. We're going to build inside out. 6'5", 300 pounds. I love that. 6'2", 312. I love that. 6'5", 276. These are all right guards. Any left guards? 6'3", 277. Left guard. 6'5", 286. Pass protector. Well-rounded. Okay, we'll go. That's fine. All right, we'll go edge next. We're going to need some edge and linebacker help. And, I mean, we're really going to need some corner help as well. Power rusher, 6'5". Gotta love that. A 4-star speed rusher, 6'2". Let's see what he's talking about. We're definitely going to need some linebacker help. Linebackers and corners, and really just defensive help in general. We really just need help all around. I'm not going to lie to y'all. There's not a spot where we're like, oh, we're pretty good here, except for receiver. Actually, receiver, we're pretty decent for the season at least. Okay. Let's go, Mike. We got 13 targets still available. We should be able to find something here. 6'3" thumper. I like that. I also kind of want a signal caller. 6'2" signal caller. Not bad. I like that. If we can get anybody like 6'3" to 6'5", that would be incredible. 6'3" signal caller. Okay. So we got 3 mics lined up. Now let's go ahead and look for our cornerbacks. We're going to need to really hold it down in the secondary. Our secondary has got to get better. But it really, like I said, it starts in the trenches. So our front 7 has got to be better more than anything. Our front 7 will make it easier on our back 7. Our front 7 will make it easier on our back 4. And or 5, whatever. So we need to make sure that we have a really good front 7 before we do anything else. Okay. Free safety, strong safety. We have a good free safety for this season, but we're going to need one for the next season. Box specialist. He's probably going to be slow. I don't really want a slow safety. 6 foot is not bad, but 6'2" to 6'4" would be better. Okay, well, it doesn't look like we're going to get any of that. So maybe it's that 6-footer. Terrence Jennings, he's a hybrid. Okay, so we got 2 safeties picked out. Now let's go strong safety. And we also got to remember here that even though we are looking at these players and, scouting them, it does not mean that they're going to be good enough to be on the team. And so we may have to go to the portal. That's always something that we're going to have to consider. And for our final 2, we'll just go ahead and take a look at two halfbacks. East-West playmaker, 5'9". Okay, Jordan Friend. He sounds slow, but Demir Vick sounds fast, but okay. Now, our first couple of weeks, or at least our first week of recruiting, is going to be spent, 89 throw power, is going to be spent scouting these players to see who is going to be worth getting to the team or not. 89 throw power. So 2 with 89 throw power, not great, but not horrible either. It could be worse. But we're looking for 90 plus throw power. Preferably 90 plus or 80 something plus speed, like 85 plus speed would be ideal. But at least 90 speed is necessary. 90 throw power is necessary in my opinion. Anything with less than 90, unless it's like 89. 89 is probably my cutoff. But even then, that's kind of weenie armed. We don't want no noodle arms around here at all. So out of all of those quarterbacks that we scouted, only one of them even comes close to fitting the criteria with 89 throw power. That is perfectly okay, though. Okay. Not great. But looks like he could be decent. So we'll take a look out for that. Okay, 60. Nope, that's not going to cut it. Left tackle. Just the run blocking is pretty horrible, but everything else is not bad, actually. Okay. We can definitely, let's go ahead and just offer him a scholarship. 6'7", 286 pounds. We'll go ahead and offer him right off bat. Nope. '80 speed, not bad. Okay, I'm actually going to offer him as well. I'm offering him as well. Okay, and like I told y'all, we're going to be replacing the easy non-conference games with the hardest games that we can / most fun. All right. So after going and replacing all of our non-con games, we have got a hell of a gauntlet schedule. Penn State, Clemson, South Carolina, Missouri, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Bama, Texas A&M, LSU, Notre Dame, Texas, and Iowa State. Goodness gracious, we are going to have us a hell of a time trying to compete in the SEC and running a gauntlet of a schedule like this. But, hey, we got to do what we got to do, right? Okay, so we're gonna have our very first game against Penn State, and honestly, I don't really think that there's a point in even playing this game, because Penn State is more than likely going to rock our socks off, and that's perfectly fine. What we're interested in right now is making sure that we get the most top tier prospects that we can to come to Texas State. And I am not surprised we got absolutely shellacked by Penn State, and we likely will by Clemson and South Carolina as well. We might honestly not even win a game this season. We really might not, but that is okay. That is the game that we're playing right now. That is the challenge that we have. That is the challenge that we have before us. Okay, we're about to get locked out here, so we're going to go boom. We're going to send the house on DeAndre Griffin. We do have Clemson this week. We're going to go ahead and skip this game. We're not upgrading our recruiting or our coaching XP either. And again, to no one's surprise, we did lose to Clemson. I'm sure we lost in a horrendous fashion, almost exactly as bad as we lost to Penn State. And I'm sure the result will be the same against South Carolina, but that's perfectly fine. We need to get our big uglies recruited. We do have this week against South Carolina. We're going to skip this week as well. I'm really going to save the games that we're going to play for later towards the end of the season. Maybe we can get a few upsets in there and, get some of our recruits to want to come to Texas State on the back end of upsets. And as we can see, we also got our asses whipped in that game 49-17. So it is looking really ugly right now. And with Missouri coming to UFCU Stadium, we are definitely going to be playing this game. Let's see if we can get us an upset victory with Missouri coming in undefeated. And we got to do it in style if we're going to do it. Oh, yeah, baby. That's sick right there. Gotta love these unis. These are absolutely sick. Let's get into this game. And we are actually going to enter this game with a fighting chance at winning here. At least tying the game up. It is 10-3. We are starting the fourth quarter. Let's see if we can go ahead and get Anderson or Sparks or Burrell maybe. See if we can get Burrell. Yep. Get the ball off. Ink. Burrell. Nice. Nice pickup of 5 right there. We got a 4th and 5, and I know that I said that we had to go coach's suggestions, which I actually forgot, so we're going to be doing that on the next drive. But for the sake of the video here, we need to get this conversion. Let's see if we can, and we cannot. That is actually just very unfortunate. Unfortunate thing on that play there was that we had our man wide open, and I just missed the read. Okay, watch for the screen. Oh my God, make a tackle. 2nd and 2. So a little cover 4 quarters here. Really need to get off the field quickly if we can, and we're not going to get off the field there. The longer this Missouri drive takes, the worse it is for us. We only have a little bit of time left, and we need to keep them out of field goal range in order to make this a winnable game. Okay, and we're going cover 4 quarters here again. I'm actually going to pass commit. Hopefully that's not a bad idea. It might be a bad idea as they are not running the ball. But he gets away from the tackle and is able to get a first down. We had a sack. We have a little bit of life here at 13-3 with 3.5 minutes left and still 3 timeouts on our hands. We could muster up a comeback. If we are going to come back in this game, it would be really nice if we get a start here on the special teams. Get us a big kick return. Okay, that's not bad, but actually just a 24-yard line. Not as great as I thought it was going to be. All right, we're going to go here, and we're going to come out in PA double post and just see if we can get something on... See if we can get something short here. We just got to get a little bit of rhythm on offense before anything else. X is open, get it to him, and we're going to get a holding call. I already know it's going to be holding, man. Mr. Dorian, you are selling right now. Your teammates are going to be very upset with you. All right, let's see if we can get something going deep here. Maybe Bo Sparks on the outside. Looks like we got Bo Sparks. Oh, yeah, nice corner route. And we got the first down. Let's go, man. We're going gun slot left here. Let's see if we can get us a potential cover 3 touchdown beater. If we can get the time, we might be able to get Anderson here. But we're not going to be able to. See if we can roll out Brad Jackson. Get to the edge. Okay, a pickup of 6. That's not bad. RPO read Y flat. Chances are if you've played college football 26, you have run RPO read Y flat at least 100 times. And we're going to go make it 101 here. See if we can get up the field. 3rd and 3. It is 3rd and 3. We need to get the ball rolling here. Maybe we can get Bo Sparks on the outside here. If they're in a cover 2-man look, potentially Bo Sparks, maybe Smith or Dawn here. It's going to look like Dawn is going to be the answer. Yes, sir. Break free. Dawn cut it back. Okay. Big pickups on 3rd and 3. Now we got to get moving. We only have 2.5 minutes left in this game. And we're going to run out of time if we don't get a big play down the field here at some point. Got to roll out. Okay. We got some space to our right side. Open field. And we get to the sideline as well. We're able to get out of bounds. And unfortunately, we did have an injury on the last play. Luckily for us, it did not cost us a timeout. But we're going to go like this. See if we can either get Dawn or Anderson here. Looks like we're going to be able to get Dawn maybe. And I just threw an interception. Wow, what a bad read. I mean, that was just a horrendous read on my part. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And it looks like that is going to do it for this game. Unfortunately, Missouri is going to come into our stadium and whoop our butts. I pissed away any chance of a comeback that we had in that game. And Missouri ended up just taking the thing 13-3. We are now 0-4 on the season. And it's not off to a great start here in San Marcos. It's okay, though. This is to be expected. We are not bothered at all yet. This is just season number 1. This week, we're going to have the Oklahoma Sooners coming up, so we're going to go ahead and advance past that game since they have already a loss on their schedule. It wouldn't really do us any benefit to play them other than to say that we got to whoop their asses with Texas State. And we're going to be 0-5 on the season. We are going to have Tennessee coming up this week with an absolute blowout loss to Oklahoma, 49-0. We're going to have a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 game gauntlet here of 7 straight ranked opponents to finish out the year. We've already played 1 of our 4 allowed games. It's not going to get any easier down the line, so it really doesn't matter who we decide to play. We're going to have a tough challenge no matter who it is. On the positive side of things in the recruiting arena are looking really good. We have some of these recruits are very interested in coming to Texas State. Now we just got to hope that no other schools come in and scoop them up from under our feet. But so far, so good. We did end up getting a commitment from our right tackle, Dennis Damon. We also got a commitment from a halfback in Jordan Friend. So 2 decent commitments here, 3 stars that could be of service to us early next season. So we got 2 pickups now, hopefully, potentially in Edward O'Malley and in Thaddeus Poe. Let's see if we can go ahead and sway them, even though we're going to end this season on a very tough note. But with that being said, we do have Texas A&M coming up on the schedule this week, and they are coming in at 5-0. We are 0-7. Can we potentially upset the Gaggies away at their home field? Okay, so we come into this game only down 10-0 here. We're only down 10-0. I mean, realistically, we could get in the game if we can get a stop. And one thing we know for sure is that A&M is famous for the home of the 12th man, where they're supposed to be, where their crowd is supposed to be a game changer, and unfortunately instead it just has them in games with opponents they are far superior than every single season. So I don't really know if the 12th man can stand up to what the lore gives it. Yeah, because, it's just not really there for me. We're going to go ahead and get a stop here, 3rd and 1. We need a stop here, or we can really probably kiss this game goodbye. At worst, we need to hold them to a field goal, and he's going to get the first down. Fortunately for us, that only puts the Aggies up 13-0, which means we still have a chance to upset. Okay, so we're going to come out here and gun tight open. Let's see if we can get something here underneath to Smith maybe. Smith is open, throw him the ball, and he did catch it, 2nd and 5. PA post curls. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get what I want to out of this. It doesn't look like they're in a cover 3. So maybe we can have Anderson here. Nope. X, just check that down. Get it to Smith. That's okay. Get up the field. Just keep the chains moving. That's all we got to do. Take one play at a time. We're going to come out here and X dig. It looks like they're in a cover 3 or cover 6. So let's see if we can either get Don or Anderson here. Get up the field. Pair. Jackson breaking free into the open field all the way back across the 43 to the 43-yard line. It's the Aggies 50, and that puts us in prime position to really threaten for a score right here. Let's see if we can get Anderson or Bo Sparks maybe. And it looks like we're going to have Anderson if we can make the throw. And we do make the throw. And Anderson breaks open into the open field. And we're going to score a touchdown. And we cut the lead down to 13-7. 13-7. Can we nut up and get a stop here on the Aggies? 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Plenty of time on the clock. And oh my goodness, that was a big hit. I need a fumble right there. There's plenty of time on the clock here. I got to imagine that they're going to be running the ball still. No. Oh, what a throw. That was a lucky throw in my opinion. And with that, they're going to take it down to the 2-minute warning. All right, we are really needing a stop here really badly. We really need a stop here. Let's see if we can get something. Okay, that's a good start. 2nd and 13. Hit him in the backfield. That's what I'm talking about. Way to get some penetration there. All right, we're just going to go cover 9. I'm pass committing here. This could be a really bad idea. They easily could be handing the ball off, and it looks like they are. Oh, my goodness, they're going to take this for a touchdown. What a bad decision by me, and we really just blew the game right there. I for sure thought that they were going to be passing the ball, and that is what I get. You should not be pass committing in a potential run situation, and that's on me. And I probably just lost us the game. And great, we hit him into the end zone. Let's see if we can get Smith, Anderson, or Pari here. Pari? No! Oh my God, they just baited me. I'm awful. I'm so bad. I literally do this to myself all the time. And that is pretty much going to do it for us, guys. We're going to lose this game 21-7, unfortunately. And we do go ahead and lose this game 24-7. It was within reach, and again, we sold. That's 2 games we have sold now, so gotta love that. Heading into the bye week, we are 0-8 with a bunch of ass whippings. It's been really, really rough for us this season. And yeah, man, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. We're going to be looking on to next season. We're probably just going to go ahead and sim through the rest of this season, get on to the next season, get on to some new recruits, and see what we can get building for next year. This season is pretty much lost already. And we got a commitment from a left tackle, Ty Stubbs, cornerback, Kevin Tate. Nice. So 2 nice commitments there. Gotta love that. We really want this Edward O'Malley, man. We want him to come in. And it does not look like New Mexico State or Liberty or Old Dominion are going to be going for him. So he very well may be our starting quarterback come next season. And we got another commitment from a right guard, Calvin Steinmetz. Nice. So our O-line is getting shored up pretty nicely right now. And we are unfortunately more than likely going to go completely defeated this season at sitting at 0-10 right now, unfortunately for us. With that being said, we do have Iowa State as our final game on the season. We are 0-11, unfortunately, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Let's get into this game, see if we can get us one win on the season, and maybe that will be the spark we need to land some big recruits. And would you look at this? We come to Ames, Iowa, and we are giving the Cyclones all that they can ask for. It is 9-3. Start of the fourth quarter, and let's see if we can get a stop. And he's going to get stopped at the 1 yard line. Almost got in for the touchdown there. And it looks like they're going to be calling for goal line here. Let's see if we can get a stop. We're going to have everybody out the line of scrimmage, and that's a big tackle right there. Let's go. All right, we're going to be in cover 3 match here, but I don't really like the idea of match. So we're going to shade down here, and hopefully we can get a stop. We need some pressure, and we get a sack. Let's go. A big sack right there. That is going to make it 9-6, and we are going to get the ball back with time on our hands to make something happen. So we're just going to be trying to take as much time as possible off the clock here. See if we can get a push up the middle, and we cannot. It is 2nd and 9. And we're going to go RPO read wide flat. Again, staple play. See if we can get this to our tight end. And it looks like we're going to have the tight end open. And we're going to have a big play. And we got some room to run. Up past the 50. Up to the 46-yard line. And Blake Smith is just so slow. He got caught so fast. And if it's going to work, we may as well run it again. Let's see if we can get Blake Smith into the open field one more time on this RPO read wide flat. And we might very well be able to. And we can turn it up the field. Let's go. And we're going to make it 2nd and 2. A big gain of 8 right there. We're going to come out here and gun spread wide slot and just go inside zone. And let's see if we can pick up the first down here. We need to push up the middle. And we cannot get the push up the middle, but we do make it 3rd and inches. And, of course, on 3rd and inches, you know that we're going to be running the ball. So we're going to be running stretch here. They are coming out in goal line, so it could offer us a little bit of a problem. Let's go ahead and unidentify this left side so we don't block that guy. And we can just go ahead and slant this to the right. Let's see if we can get up the field. And we cannot get the first down. Oh, my goodness. And I know I said that we're going to be running coach suggestions, but I'm making an executive decision here. With the game on the line, the coach does not want to go for it, and I can't settle with that. It doesn't sit right in my spirit. So we're going to be going for this. Let's see if we can get LJ Johnson or Pear underneath. And it looks like we got LJ Johnson for the touchdown. LJ Johnson for the touchdown is going to make it 16-6, and we very well could spoil Iowa State's season here. The more that I'm talking about it, the more confident I feel that we're going to get out of Ames with a win here and upset the Cyclones, which, you know, should come as no surprise. Iowa State is prone to losing to teams that they just shouldn't lose to. I think that is a very accurate sentiment, and that's not really, being unfair. I feel like that's a fair statement. And we're just going to sit here and cover 4 quarters, make them check it down. The longer they take to move the ball and to score, the better it is for us. We're coming close to the 2-minute warning already. And let's make sure we don't get crossed up here. Okay, just make a tackle in the middle of the field. That's perfectly fine. 2 minutes on the clock. I don't really even care if they do score here at this point. They would have to do a lot in order to mount this comeback, and we would just have to we would have to have an all-time fold on our hands to not be able to hold off Iowa State with a 10-point lead and only 1 minute and 50 seconds left in the game. But let's see if we can get a stop here. Oh my God, dude, he just has all the time on planet Earth. Okay. And that should really do it for Iowa State here, to be honest with you. You might beat us. You might beat us. But we ain't going to quit, and we ain't going to back down, bitch. Even if we take a mud stomp, and we going to get right back up, and we going to be right back out here next week fighting our asses off, competing to go win a natty, man. Let's go. Big win, big first win, only win of the season. But what a great time to have it as we end the season, sending these players off with a W. Gotta love it, man. Way to go, Brad. And that is going to do it for this season. We end the season on a high note with a 16-13 victory over the Iowa State Cyclones in Ames, Iowa, upsetting the Iowa State Cyclones at the end of the season. But we still got a lot ahead of us in terms of recruiting, in terms of the transfer portal. So don't go anywhere yet. There's still a lot left to be done before this first season is over with. Let's go ahead and get this recruiter upgraded, man. We really need it desperately at quarterback. But again, I think in the O-line, the D-line, in the trenches is the most important place. These three spots right here, quarterback and in the trenches. That's what we really got to focus on. So we want that magnetic personality for sure. Get 2 out of 4 there. And then we can go ahead also. Let's go ahead and in the receiving game needs to take a little bit less time to scout. So, okay, not terrible right now. We need some more work. We probably should have spread it out evenly across these, but I think that the quarterback and O-line and D-line are the most important things right now. So this is what we're starting off with as our recruiter after the first season. Perfectly fine with the way this is looking. Yeah, and I'm not going to completely judge my coordinators on the way this season went, as it is our first season with, not our players under our wing yet. So we got to get there before we kind of cast judgment on them, if that makes sense. And we did get a big commitment from a right tackle and Colin Frisch. Got a commitment from Edward O'Malley. That's a big commitment because he could potentially be our starting quarterback from here on out. And the fact of the matter is that we are simply going to lose out on a lot of players, unfortunately for us. A lot of players are going to graduate. A lot of players are going to transfer. And that's just the way that this is going to go for us. And that, just is what it is. But from a recruiting standpoint, I've got to say that we have done very well on the recruiting trail. That's a big positive. We are going to have to really, really hit the transfer portal hard. We're going to have to hit the transfer portal hard for anything that we do, for any position group that we do not get out of recruitment. But we do get a big one from Deontay Petty. Gotta love that. We're fighting for Thaddeus Poe right now. We're fighting Iowa for Thaddeus Poe right now. If I have anything to say about it, Thaddeus Poe is going to be a Texas State Bobcat. We're going to try our absolute damnedest. And we're going to go ahead here and we're going to try and hard sell him. Let's just try and sway him first. Let's just try and sway him. Okay, championship contender, conference prestige. Let's see if we can get him with the aspirational goals pitch. Baron Morton won the Heisman Trophy. Interesting findings there. And so it looks like Miami goes on to win the national championship 35-21 over Duke. Indiana is going to be 12-1 and end the season at number 2 after beating USC. Texas Tech also goes undefeated. Oh, I don't even know if we're in the playoffs yet. I mean, we're not even in the national championship yet, I don't think. And at the end of the day, it is going to be Ohio State that takes home the national championship. Texas Tech goes 16-1, undefeated throughout the entire season until they get to the national championship where they fold. Leave it to Tech. That's not a surprise, honestly. But Tech had a hell of a run. They had to go through a little bit of a gauntlet there at the end. Clemson quarterfinal and then Miami in the semis. Ohio State, Duke, Indiana, okay. Notre Dame ended up making an impressive run towards the end of the season because they started off, I think they were 3-2 and ended up 9-4 in the final CFP bracket. They do lose in the first round to Ohio State. They get smacked right there. Only one SEC representative in all of the bracket, and that's at Georgia. Interesting. Duke 13-2. So pretty interesting final results there. But it is going to be Ohio State coming away with the national championship on the season. And unfortunately, there's going to be a ton of players that are going to be leaving, especially after an 0-11 season. There's just not much we're going to be able to do to get them to stay, to be quite frank with you. We can try to get some of these guys to stay, but it's just highly unlikely. After going 1-11, it's kind of hard to argue with any of these players on why they would leave. Brad Jackson is going to go somewhere where he can thrive in their system, as well as Greg Burrell. Bo Sparks is a junior. He's going to have a year where he can really do some damage. And that's just not what they feel like they can do here at Texas State. They're wrong. Okay, they're wrong, but they're young. You got to give them some grace. They're wrong and they're dumb. They're young. They're dumb. They're wrong. They're young. They're dumb. And now we're coming up to the most important part of the offseason, and that is getting into the transfer portal. Obviously, we had a ton of players leave our program. We are going to need to replace them all. And we have a ton of spots to fill. So really, we can just pretty much look around at everything. So we want as many 3-star rating, 3-star players, 3 or 4-star players as possible. So we're only going to be searching 3 and up. Nobody can come to us if they are not a 3-star. And Vakari Swain is in the transfer portal. This would be a massive get. Wow, he's leaving South Carolina, true sophomore. We definitely want to go after that. Davian Kerr from Syracuse. 6'1". Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can recruit him as well. Because you never know. We could definitely, they could end up being on the squad. Oh man, Jalen Davis Robinson from SMU. Now this is a definite, we want him for sure. We have a hell of a recruiting board right now. I ain't gonna lie. Let's see who we got. Okay, we got Jalen Davis Robinson. Good corners. God, Jelani Watkins. That's 99 speed. Gotta love that. Arrington Maiden as well. Wow. Vakari Swain. Naeem Abdul-Rahim Gladding. Got another good receiver. James Peoples got our running back 1. Tavian St. Clair actually ended up flipping. So we got 3 quarterbacks out of that recruiting class. We got a good receiver. Wow, we really got a lot of good stuff. I fear, though, that we might not have got any linebackers or anything that we needed. Dev trait. Okay, Abdul Rahim upgraded to impact on his dev trait. Nice. At quarterback, Tavian St. Clair is the front runner right now. Achilles Smith is not really far behind him. I would say that Arrington Maiden is the furthest behind simply because he doesn't have any throw power. And with all of these guys being freshmen, wow, look at Tavian St. Clair, downhill, extender, option, dot, star dev trait, Achilles Smith, star dev trait. Arrington Maiden and Gavin Parkhurst is going to need to be shipped off. Sorry, buddy. James Peoples, star dev trait, 95 speed. Wow, 98 acceleration, 90 change of direction. And then at wide receiver, look at him. Just look at it. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? We also have Chris Dawn, who at this point, 5'7", we can actually go ahead and put him as our second string running back instead. We can change his position to running back, 93 speed. He'd be a good complement to James Peoples. We would have LJ Johnson, Naeem Abdul-Rahim Gladding, Kylan Evans. We still have Tyaquelin Mims as well. And Jelani Jenkins. Jelani is a sophomore. LJ's a sophomore. We got a senior and a junior and a sophomore. We got 3 sophomores that potentially could be starting with us long term. So that's good. That's really nice. And in our cornerbacks, our cornerback room is looking absolutely incredible. Vakari Swain, star dev trait. Jalen Davis Robinson, impact dev trait. Malik Willis going to have to go. Chris Royal going to have to go. And then Cordarian Powell is probably going to have to go as well, though he does have 90 speed. So we got at least 2 or 3 good corners. We got a good free safety, or good speed at free safety at least. Darius Jackson does have impact depth trait, but he's only 86 speed, and I can't reason with that. Jaden Bradley, okay. Tice Williams, okay. We definitely got some work that we need to do, but I'm happy with our portal class. Our portal class is really, really good. One is going to bring us a showdown against the Texas Longhorns. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it? With that being said, let's jump into this game against the Texas Longhorns. First game of the 2026 season. Let's see how we're rocking, man. And by the time we get back into it, we are now in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left. Texas missed a field goal on our 29-yard line, and now we have a chance to ice this game and go down and win it potentially. Pull the ball. Let's go, Tavian St. Clair into the open field. Tavian St. Clair taking off. Let's go. Big game. Tracked down by Jonah Williams. See if we can catch him off guard with this draw look. And doesn't look like they're being caught off guard at all. They're going to stop us for a 1-yard loss. I think LJ Johnson should be open here. He is open. Oh, he's not open. Wow, I just threw a pick and possibly just lost the game again. That is 3 games in a row that I played and 3 games in a row that I potentially lost the game. Grayson Littleton is going to return that for a 52-yard pick 6. We had a really good start to that last drive, and Mr. Mobetta fucked it up, man. So, you know, I got to take it for what it is. Let's see if we can get Jelani Watkins down the field here. Jelani Watkins is down there somewhere, baby. He's down there somewhere. He's down there somewhere, and we can't get the ball to him, of course. And we're going to have a holding call more than likely. Colin Frisch really fucking it up for us. Let's see if we can get Jelani Watkins or LJ Johnson here deep. Yeah, going deep is what we're going to have to do. It looks like they're double bracketing Watkins. So Johnson might be open. I'm just throwing it deep for Watkins just because. Let's go here. I literally cannot tell what my play actually is or not. Let's just see if we can get Jelani Watkins here. I mean, we're kind of shooting in the dark right now. Just hoping for anything. Looks like we got Jelani. Maybe. No. Wow. We're going to sell the game. Yep. Unfortunate this loss. Unfortunately, we are going to lose this one 31-21. We came in the third quarter and got us back into the game. And unfortunately, we just ended up selling. So that is just the nature of the game we play sometimes. It is what it is. Like I said before, on the recruiting trail, we are being very specific and trying to fill our needs to the best of our ability. So we're looking at centers, tackles, guards, and linebackers more than anything. A couple of safeties as well. Though I think that we're going to have to get our safeties from the transfer portal is what it's more looking like right now. So let's go ahead and advance to next week. So that's one of our 4 games that we can play that is down the drain now. Unfortunately, we lost that one to Texas. Is what it is. We're going to have to move on. South Carolina put an absolute ass whooping on us last year. So hopefully we don't get that same treatment this year. And we got shellacked again, 38-17 there. Really what we need to happen is that we just need to keep having Tavian St. Clair advancing quickly. He's got decent deep throw accuracy, but his throw power is what really puts him over the edge, as well as his speed, obviously, his elusiveness. He's developing really well. His physicals are really good. Achilles Smith is also on his heels, so if for some reason anything were to happen to Tavian St. Clair, we do have Achilles Smith Jr. So fortunately, we were able to squeak out a win against FCS Midwest, 42-34. And we come into UFCU Stadium October 3rd to match up against the 3-1 and 21st ranked Oklahoma Sooners. Unfortunately, we are getting our asses absolutely kicked here, so this is really not going to do anything for us as far as, we can score and get on the board here, but the game is about as good as over, if you ask me. It's already 31-7. Oklahoma ended up being way too much for us to handle, and they put us lacking on us 38-7. At 2-3 already on the season, it is probably looking like this season is going to be a wash. We're going to need to win more games if we're going to want to get some of the better recruits into our locker room, and if we're going to want to retain some of the players on our roster currently. We were able to get the victory over our rivals down I-35 in San Antonio, 45-35, which puts us at 3-3 on the season and in prime spot to potentially upset Alabama, who is 4-1 currently on the year. And if we got a chance to upset Alabama, we have to take it. So let's go ahead and jump into this game. And once again, we are jumping into the fourth quarter, and Alabama is putting an absolute ass whooping on us, unfortunately. And it looks like we're going to have to get maybe LJ Johnson here on this. We got the corner route, actually, to Battle. Nice catch by Battle. By far, our best player on the field is going to be Taven St. Clair. Fastest player on the field is going to be Jelani Watkins, but Taven St. Clair, our best player right now for sure. R1, and we got Battle up the seam on the RPO for a touchdown. It's going to make it look a little bit prettier, though it's not really going to do anything to help us win this game. Unfortunately, another ass whooping by Alabama, 42-14. That's going to put us at 3-4 on the season. Even though we are only 3-4 on the season with some pretty ugly losses and pretty much every loss that we've had, we have to take into account the fact that we were 1-11 last season. So we are already 2 games better than we were last season, and we're only halfway through the year so far. And luckily for us, Taven St. Clair is progressing very nicely every week. He is up to an 86 overall already as a freshman, which is extremely, extremely good. We've also lost, it looks like we've lost James Peoples and Jalen Jenkins to injury. Unfortunately, James Peoples is still out for another 3 weeks with a broken hand. We're missing his presence on the field. That 95 speed and 98 acceleration is exactly why we had him. He's got all the physical abilities that we need. We need him back in the lineup pretty badly. Unfortunately for us, for as good as our back end is, our front seven is just not getting it done. And, that is really one of the biggest problems with the team right now, is that our front seven, our linemen they're really just not getting it done. They're not getting it done. And we need them to do well if we're going to want the rest of our back end to do well, if that makes sense. Unfortunately, it looks like we're not really having a lot of success in the recruiting field right now. We've only got 7 targets, and honestly, all of the recruits that we've kind of looked at have really not been that great. So it looks like we're probably going to have to hit the transfer portal hard again in the offseason, which is okay, but we definitely want to start getting some young freshman and sophomore players out of our recruitments to be able to build up our team for the sustainable future. The hardest thing for us right now is trying to get recruits that are going to not get poached by other teams. Anytime that we get a good recruit right now, we're getting outbid essentially. And we did get a commitment from a center in Montel Bada. We needed a commitment from a lineman, so that's nice. We're missing out on Tariq Floyd. It looks like he got his offer from Cal, unfortunately. We only got 2 recruits, and they're both centers out of this entire recruiting trip. That's fucking horrible. That's actually really bad. But we do have Auburn on the schedule. Let's see if we can upset Auburn's 9-2 season and end this season on a high note and potentially keep some of these players that are looking to leave. And what do you know? We are coming into the fourth quarter in a dead tie with the 14th ranked Auburn Tigers. Run. Oh my God. Stop. Get a stop. Nice pull by Deuce Knight there. gun bunch. And like I said, we are going to need to hit the portal hard this year. I'm going to be pass committing here. We're going to need to hit the transfer portal hard. Oh my God, they were able to get that completion, unfortunately. And I don't know about y'all, but I can feel. I don't know if y'all can tell on the screen, but I can feel it. My defense is so slow, man. This defense is ungodly slow. And they're going to pick up another first down here, and they're keeping the clock moving. Okay, and I'm going to pass commit here. We're in cover 9. I'm shading down as well to make sure that we don't give up anything easy. Please. Oh my God, that should have been an interception. He literally just threw the ball up. He just threw the ball up to Preston Howard, and that should have been a pick, but that is a stop nonetheless. So it is going to be 17-14. Please tell me we didn't just get up roughing the kicker, bro. I didn't even... We just got a roughing the kicker, and I literally didn't even touch the sticks. That is so unfortunate. I got to watch for a run here. No run. Oh, stop Deuce Knight. Let's go. Okay. All right, we're going to go cover 3 match, but I'm shading down here. Okay, we just got to be weary of the run and of the scramble. Run or the scramble. Run or the scramble. We got to watch either one. Watch for the RPO. Make a stop. Let's go. It's 3rd and goal again. 3rd and goal again. They're in bunch. They might run the ball here. We're shading down, of course. Watch for that. Watch across the middle. No. Somebody get Deuce Knight. No. Not into the end zone. Let's go. We got to fumble. We got to fumble. We got to fumble. Return it, Tice. Tice Williams all the way down the sideline. Oh, my God. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. He's at the 45. All the way down to the 36-yard line with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left. Wow. Deuce Knight with a major mistake for the Auburn Tigers right there. He might have just cost them the game. Let's see if we can get Jelani Watkins into the open field. Nope. Hand the ball off, and we just got a holding call. These holding calls are absolutely killer, especially at this point on the field. We are literally in great position. Let's just see if we can get this RPO read wide flat. Get out to the tight end. We need to get up the field. What do they got, Wes Weeks over here? They sure do is what it looks like. Okay, man, this is a lot harder now, unfortunately. This is going to be a lot harder for us. Let's see if we can get Jelani Watkins on this. Let's actually go... No, we're just going to keep running what we're running. If they're in man coverage, we should have Jelani Watkins. Looks like they are. We should have Jelani Watkins. Pass lead that down. Nice pickup right there. A nice pickup of 12 yards to Jelani. Now we're going to go RPO read wide flat. See if we can get Battle here for a little bit of room. We should be able to get him. Battle up the field. Gonna get the first down inside the 20-yard line. Let's go, man. Down to the 18. 3rd and 11 on the 19-yard line. We just cannot do anything stupid here. Nothing stupid. Maybe Jelani Watkins will be open up the seam if they're shading underneath, if they're in man coverage. Taven Jackson, Taven St. Clair, let's go. No, 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 no way, no way, no way, no way, no way, no way. We hit the ground. I'm trying to slide, bro. No way, bro. No way. I'm challenging that. There's no way, bro. I hit the ground. I hit the ground, bro. I'm on the ground. My knee is on the ground. Bro, they're going to give it to Auburn. Oh, my God. I mean, that is just the most ridiculous thing. We're going to come out here and try and pressure Auburn. I'm going to pass commit here. See if we can get a safety maybe. No safety. Just make a stop. They do have Cam Coleman. We got to be weary of that. Let's get a stop on Deuce Knight. Let's go, baby. And I don't care. We are sending the dogs, man. We are sending the dogs right here. We're pass committing. We're sending the dogs. We need to get some pressure up the middle of the field. And we're going to get a safety. Let's freaking go. We're going to get a safety. Let's just take a knee and get out of here with a freaking win to end the season. 5-7. What a win. Wow, we needed that really, really bad. And I'm just going to say it, that win was major for momentum heading into the offseason, as well as heading into the offseason where a bunch of players could potentially be leaving. Maybe they will be able to be swayed to stay back on the team with a big win over a top 15 opponent like that. And we essentially have lost every single recruit. I'm not gonna lie, we've lost like pretty much every recruit. That is not good at all. I mean, not good at all. Let's just see if we can get Achilles Smith to stay. Not been persuaded. We got one more. Let's try and keep our right tackle. He did decide to stay, luckily for us. So that was our 2 chances at persuasions. We did not get Achilles Smith to stay, but that's okay because we do have Tavian St. Clair, so don't really need him. Wow, so it looks like Duke actually got the win over Alabama. 15-1 Duke. Manny Diaz finds himself as the winning head coach, and they absolutely whooped Alabama 35-14 in the national championship. So good for Duke. That's going to do it for the second season under our belt. Now we've got a lot of offseason work to do. We're going to get to work in the transfer portal right now, and we will be back at the beginning of next season. And yeah, we'll see y'all then with a newly upgraded squad, with a newly upgraded team that is going to put us on trajectory for 9 wins next season. I'm saying it now. We're going to be on trajectory for 9 wins next season. You heard it here first. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this transfer portal.